Norway's former PM charged with gross corruption over Epstein links. Former Norwegian Prime Minister Thorbjørn Jagland has been charged with gross corruption over his ties with the U.S. sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, police have said. The charge was brought after the Council of Europe lifted Jagland's immunity, which he enjoyed because of his past diplomatic role. He denies criminal liability and is willing to cooperate, his lawyer says. Emails released by the U.S. government are thought to show that Jagland planned solo and family visits to Epstein's homes in Paris, New York, and Palm Beach after the billionaire was convicted of a child sex offense. 3 of Jagland's properties were searched by Norwegian crime unit Kokrim, and he is now expected to be questioned. As well as serving as prime minister from 1996 to 1997, Jagland is also a former head of the Norwegian Nobel Committee and spent a decade as Secretary General of the Council of Europe. Jagland had diplomatic immunity from heading the Council, Europe's watchdog for democracy and human rights, for alleged acts carried out during his 2009 to 2019 tenure. Kokrim requested the Council revoke his immunity after it launched an investigation earlier this month into allegations of gross corruption made against him between 2011 and 2018. The so-called Epstein files appear to show instances where the late financier covered the travel expenses to his properties for Jagland and his family. The former leader had planned a family trip to Epstein's private Caribbean island in 2014, but it was ultimately cancelled after Epstein fell ill. Jagland also faces allegations that he solicited Epstein's help in obtaining a bank loan in another exchange, although it is not clear whether this materialized, according to Norwegian broadcaster NRK. Police have not confirmed whether this allegation is part of the gross corruption charge. Mention in the Epstein files, which have been released by the U.S. Department of Justice (DOJ), does not indicate any wrongdoing. Jagland was seen walking out of his home alongside his lawyer in Oslo on Thursday, one of the properties alongside Tuan Risren Rauland that Kokrim confirmed it had searched. Politicians, celebrities and royals have been caught up in the turmoil after the U.S. DOJ published the latest tranche of files last month, containing millions of private emails, images and FBI reports into the late sex offender who died in 2019 while awaiting trial for sex trafficking. The Nordic country has seen several public figures drawn into the widening scandal, including Crown Princess Mette-Marit, diplomats Mona Juul and Tarja R.D. Larsen, and chief executive of the World Economic Forum WEF, Børge Brende. Mette-Marit gave a profound apology to Norwegians for her friendship with Epstein, after it emerged they had exchanged messages for 3 years. Mona Juul and her husband Tarja R.D. Larsen are also being investigated by Norway's Kokrim for aggravated corruption following Norwegian media reports that each of her children would receive 5M 3.6M and a will allegedly signed by Epstein days before he died. Juul's lawyer has said she does not recognize the accusations made against her, and R.D. Larsen's lawyer said he is confident the investigation will clarify there is no basis for criminal liability. The WEF ordered an independent review into Brende, who also served as the Norwegian foreign minister, over his interactions with the pedophile. Brende has acknowledged dining with Epstein 3 times in 2018 and 2019 and communicating with him by email and text, but said he was completely unaware of his past criminal activity. He added that he welcomes the WEF's decision to launch a review. British troops in Norway will rise from 1,000 to 2,000 to address Russia's greatest threat since the Cold War. Mona Juul and her husband Tarja R.D. Larsen, who played a vital role in the Oslo Accords, are being investigated for aggravated corruption. Mette-Marit says she is sorry to Norwegians for not realizing